Okay, welcome to another edition of Hittin' Buckets, a golf podcast where we review golf's biggest stories and try our best to pick some winners. I am your co-host Scott Mater, and with me as always, Ryan Marchand. How you doing, Ryan?
Good, Scott. How's it going today, bud?
Oh, it's going all right. Hopefully we got some winners this week. Let's get right into it. One more tournament down, the RBC Heritage, and our winner was Stewart Cink. I got to be honest with you, when I do my handicapping, I do a lot of course history. I didn't happen to go as far back as the year 2000 and 2004, so I missed the Stewart Cink course history research, but congrats to Stewart Cink. Brian, any thoughts after the weekend, RBC Heritage takeaways?
I mean, it was a solid tournament. It looks like a fun course to play. You can see why a lot of the players say they like this stop on tour. But it kind of drug like the Masters did. It didn't really give us that drama in Sunday. I mean, Cink got off to that crazy start, and then he doubled down again the next day. So it kind of felt like the tournament was over Friday. He just kind of had to play a prevent defense the rest of the way. And, I think the biggest takeaway from this win is just how hard it is to predict these winners. Like you said, it's you can look at all the stats and metrics and everything you want, but I mean, at the end of the day, a 47-year-old just won his second event of the season at over 100-1 odds. So, I mean, this is tough. It's hard to handicap these things. We got off to a real hot start at the start of the year. And I've had a second place chaser going into the final round of the last three tournaments. So, I mean, my Sundays were starting out with a little bit of a sweat, but it hasn't developed in the last few weeks. So I don't know. What do you think? How did you do this week?
Well, before I'll show you the recap quickly, and we'll go through it quickly because it wasn't great. But before we get into that, I want to put a little bow on the RBC Heritage. Quick shout out to the Canadian Corey Connors. Forgot to bring him up last week with his top 10 at the Masters, but another top 5 for Connors. Top 5 at Bay Hill, top 10 at the Players, top 10 at Masters, and another top 5 last week. So good job, Corey Connors. You get that putter rolling, and I think you got your second PGA Tour win pretty soon.
Yeah,
But
the
now that
guy's
you
got a
asked,
pure swing, eh?
yeah, you asked, so I have to show the pain. So when we look at how we did, that's my bet card from last week. It's bad. The top 20s were really disappointing. I think I had 4 of them in play right into Sunday, but yeah, an 0 for week. I had a better week than that looks like, but this is what I shared with the public, so this is what I got to live with. But let me pass it right back to you, Ryan, because this is too ugly. I'll put your picks up.
I mean, it wasn't the greatest either. I feel like we were on the right track. Nobody saw what Cink did coming. I mean, the 63-63 start just kind of derailed the whole tournament. So I really thought Morikawa had a chance after he birdied the first on Sunday, but that ended up being the highlight of his whole round. So, I mean, all three of the guys I picked, Morikawa, Fitzpatrick, Henley, they all finished top 10. Herman was just outside of that. So I think I was on the right track. I took away a little bit with the each way bets on Morikawa and Fitz. So overall, no harm, no foul. But I'm ready to hit another winner. But this week,
Okay, well, let's move on. Let's go into this week's tournament. Off to New Orleans, the Zurich Classic. A unique format this week as it's a teams event. 80 teams of 2 make up the field. The format is 4 rounds, aggregate score, but rounds 1 and 3, best ball, and rounds 2 and 4, alternate shot. It is a win, so even though it's teams, the player both get credit for wins, so both get 2-year exemptions. If you don't have a card, you get your full PGA Tour card, so this means a lot for a lot of the field in this tournament. Heading in, I'm going to point out 3 heavy favorites. The first one would be the defending champs, Jon Rahm and Ryan Palmer at 8-1. The next heavy favorite would be Xander Schauffele and Patrick. There's no way Scott's picking him this week. Cantley at 8-1. And the third favorite, I'd say, would be the Aussie duo in Cameron Smith and Mark Leishman at 11-1. Those are the three betting favorites. Not great odds, but with that being said, I'm going to toss it to you, Ryan, to give me your first couple picks.
Did I lose you there, bud?
Yeah, I think we had a little bad connection. We'll roll with it. You good?
All right. Yeah. I'll start right in on my picks here. So I guess what I really geared into on this course is long irons. I think they're really going to come into play for this event. 30% of the pro shots at TPC Louisiana are going to come in over 200 yards. So that includes all four of the par threes. So most of my picks are geared for ball strikers that can hit their long irons well. I've seen a few people are coming in on Horsell and Burns, but I'm going to be off them this week just for that reason. I mean, Billy Ho's been pretty hot, but he ranks 290th out of 290 active PGA pros in proximity from 200 plus yards. That's just not going to do it here. So strong iron play really brings me to my first pick, and you guessed what it is. 2 weeks in a row, I'm on Colin Morikawa. The difference is this week he's teamed up with my guy Matthew Wolff. So they're 15-1 to win the event, behind all three teams that you mentioned. So I guess my hope here is that a team event might be just what Matthew Wolff needs to kind of find his confidence again. These two came up as rookies to get a lot of fun on the course. And so far this year, the fun's just kind of been sucked right out of Matthew Wolff's game. So I'm hoping that Morikawa can bring that back out of him and get him going again. I think he really loves situations like this and knows how good Morikawa is, and he doesn't want to be the one dragging him down. So I'm hoping this is going to be the turning point of the season for my guy, Matthew Wolff. So first pick is a BMW. So another note I came across coming into the tournament was from Justin Ray. He said that the alternate shot rounds have been more significant in determining the winner in the last 3 years than the best ball rounds. So hearing that kind of made me want to lean more on solid teams rather than a team with one really strong player. So that being said, my second pick, it's going to be Max Homa and Taylor Gooch. These guys are coming in at 29-1 to win the tournament. Just kind of keeping up with the good feel Bud's trend. These guys are great friends. They play together often outside of tournaments. So you need to in a tournament like this, you need to make birdies. I'm sure you can guess two of the three best teams in the field at birdie or better ranked. So it's the two favorites, but coming in second on that list is Homa and Gooch. So I like them to make a real run this weekend at this tournament.
Okay. I like your birdie stat because it's relevant for my first pick. My first pick was Scotty Scheffler and Bubba Watson. So when looking up Scotty Scheffler, he ranked inside the top 15 for birdie percentage and I believe top 5 for the people in this field. He's also came second in the match play, so some sort of different format here. Does well at the WGCs, and his ceiling's very high. Everyone's high on Scotty Scheffler in his future, so I like him in a team event where he can play off of someone. Bubba being his team member, he also seems to play well in these sort of things. Like he's a shot maker. He makes shots from all over the place. He won the tournament here way back when it was a singles tournament, so he's had success at this course. Recently played pretty well in match play. So I look at a high ceiling, like good shot making team there at 15-1. My second pick is this is the one. Go mark this one down. I've been waiting to bet on my guy Vic Hovland, so this is it. Hovland's playing with his Norwegian buddy Christopher Ventura. So you can't get better chemistry than the two Norwegians that played junior together. Chris recruited Hovland to go to Oklahoma State with him. They were university champs there with your buddy, Matt Wolf. So they got the chemistry. Hovland is great, tee to green, top 10 in PGA, strokes gained there. And when I was hesitant to do this, when I looked up that Ventura was actually a top 10 putter in the PGA, that I was in. I was all in on this team once I saw that. So 34-1, Hovland, Ventura. That's my second pick. Ryan, give me two more picks.
All right, nice mention of Oklahoma State Cowboys. Shout out to Ryan Lumsden, big supporter of the show, big fan of Oklahoma State.
Yeah, that's probably the only good thing you'll get from Wolf from me.
So the third team I wanted to touch on is Keegan Bradley and Brendan Steele. They're coming in at 34-1. It's not easy on the head, but I play a lot of Keegan Bradley. He's second in this field in strokes gained approach. One of the best ball strikers on tour so far this year, but the guy cannot putt. So he's actually 152nd in this field in putting. So it can't even get much worse than that. Steele is almost Keegan light in terms of ball striking. They play a very similar game. So I think they're going to play off each other well. They'll find themselves in the alternate shot part of the tournament. I think they'll find themselves in spots where they're used to seeing themselves leaving themselves. So I think they'll play well together. Steele isn't a great putter, but he's a better putter than Keegan, and he's been rolling it really well lately. So he's gained over 10 strokes putting in the last 3 events. So if these two can hit the ball the way I think they're going to hit it and get lucky on the greens a bit, I think they got a shot at contending here for sure. And my fourth team is Doug Gim and Justin Sue. Team Gim Sue, like the knife. So they're 51-1. But Gim's playing well. He's really had a good start to the year, and he can pile up birdies. With Sue in 2019, when Morikawa, Hovland, and Wolf all turned pro, it was really a 4-piece meal that everyone was talking about. He was the fourth in that group, but it just has taken a long time for one reason or another for him to get into the swing of things here on the tour. He's spoken about how social media has affected him, and just hearing so much about how he's not keeping up with these guys. But I think his time is coming. He's really great with the flat stick. He's ranked second on tour in strokes gained putting. Super small sample size because he doesn't have many measured rounds here. But I mean, we saw firsthand at the Players how shaky Gim's putter was. I mean, he was in contention going into Sunday and then shot a 78. So I think anything that can help on the putting green is going to be a bonus for Gim. So I started my picks with the two young guns. I'm going to finish it out with these two, and I think they got a chance to make some noise here too.
Okay, so with my next two picks, I'm going to actually change it up a bit. My next one, I'm going to do a first round leader bet. And where you mentioned that the alternate shot is kind of the more important of the two in winning the tournament, I did a little research on the best ball. And the team of Scott Brown and Kevin Kisner have played together in the team event all 3 years. It's been a team event, and they've done really well, coming second, 15th, and 5th, but they've done really well at the best ball. So the last 2 years in the opening round, there were 10 under both times amongst the leaders. And in the first year of the team event, they closed out round 4 in best ball, minus 12 to get into a playoff. So I'm going to take a flyer on them to be a first round leader after playing the first round of best ball at 41-1 for Scott Brown and Kevin Kisner. And then my last bet for the Zurich Classic of New Orleans, this is called the I really need a winner this week bet. I'm taking 2-1 odds that Cam Smith and Mark Leishman come top 10. Love the team, love both the players. There's 80 teams, guys. Top 10, 2-1. I need that check mark. I need to get in the winner's circle. So no real explaining on that pick other than I need a winner. So I'm going to quickly put up a recap of our picks. Here we go. So there's my Scheffler, Watson, Hovland, Ventura, Brown, Kisner, first round leader, Smith, Leishman, top 10, 2-1. And then Ryan, I'm going to quickly recap. You can recap yours just for everyone.
Also, I got Morikawa Wolf at 15-1, Gooch Homa 29-1, Bradley and Steele at 34, and Sue and Gim at 51.
Okay, so another thing we're going to do different this week is the one and done that we talk about every week isn't on in the shortened season one that we've entered. So instead of doing a one and done pick at the end, Ryan and I have decided that we're going to go off the grid, check the rest of the golf world out, and do one bonus pick. So Ryan, I'm going to send it to you first. Where did you go to? Where did you find this pick from?
All right. So for my bonus pick this week, I'm going over to the Euro Tour. Don't venture over into this world often, but when I do, I usually bet the same guy. And that guy is the South African Garrick Hugo. I heard about him from a fellow South African and golf pundit, Mark Immelman, about a year ago. He was raving about this kid. And since then, I've kind of been on the Higo train. He's only 21 years old, just a kid, but he's such a steady golfer. His world ranking right now is 110 in the world golf rankings, just behind Ricky Fowler. Did you need me to repeat that? Ricky Fowler is ranked 109 in the world right now. So, but that he's ranked ahead of guys like Phil Mickelson, Keegan Bradley, who I mentioned. Last week at the Austrian Open, he finished fourth. So this week at 34-1, I'm playing him to win the tournament. And if you want to get even crazier, if you parlay a Higo win with a Morikawa Wolf win, you're looking at 500-1 odds. That's the winner.
Okay. And again, you just threw out a 500-1 odd. I'm going to go crazy here and give you odds at 2.87-1. My extra bet is going to be in the LPGA, and I want to throw some Canadian content again out there. So Brooke Henderson, top 10 at the LA Open. I quickly looked into Brooke's record there, and she did finish top 10 2 years ago, the last time they played this event. And I looked at her year, and she's very consistent. 6 tournaments, 2 top 10s, 4 top 20s. Last year in a shortened season, 6 top 10s out of 10 events. So looking at that, she's about 2-1 to finish top 10, 2.87-1. I'm getting some good juice on that odd. So Brooke Henderson, top 10, 2.87-1. And let's quickly throw that up on the shared screen. This is new this week, everyone. Yeah, so our bonus picks for Henderson, top 10, Garrett Higo, 34-1. Okay, those are our picks for this week. This will wrap up another edition of Hitting Buckets. I'd like to thank all of our friends and family that are watching and supporting, giving the feedback. Please go to YouTube, subscribe, go to Twitter, follow us there, and we encourage you to play along. Send us your picks, text us your best bets. Maybe you hit one. We'll throw it on the program, give you a shout out. But keep it up, keep watching, and I promise some winners are coming soon from us. So till next week, good luck with your picks and good luck with your picks and keep it up.